What an incredible day, because Moonshot AI is back with one of the most impressive model launches of the year, Kimi K3, an open frontier intelligence model. The Kimi K3 is a 2.8 trillion parameter open source model with a 1 million token context window. It is natively multimodal, but that's not even the best part. It's currently ranked third overall on the World of AI benchmark, putting it in the same conversation as Claude Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Sol, officially joining the current top tier of frontier models, which is just mind-boggling. The K3 is built for long-horizon agentic coding and self-evolving workflows. It outperforms Claude Opus 4.8 on coding across every benchmark. It rivals GPT 5.6 Sol and even Fable 5 across many tasks and delivers that performance at a pricing much closer to Claude Sonnet. I genuinely mean it when I say that K3 belongs in the big three conversation. In front end coding, especially, it's leading several evaluations, even taking the number one spot on Design Arena ahead of Claude Fable 5, which is absolutely insane for an open model. Here you can see a direct comparison between the Kimi K3 and GPT 5.6 Sol. While both are generating similar features, but you can see that K3 consistently shows stronger visual judgment, cleaner layouts, and noticeably better 3D execution. The final results simply feel more polished and intentional, which is a huge milestone for the open source ecosystem. And beyond just front end performance, the K3 is also one of the strongest agentic models that we have ever tested. It is delivering top tier results across coding, automation, and long horizon knowledge work while remaining significantly cheaper than the Opus 4.8, making it one of the most compelling frontier models available right now. If you want the best AI tools, workflows, and drops before everyone else, join my free newsletter with the link in the description below, which is completely free. Now, across coding benchmarks, the Kimi K3 consistently performs at the very top of the leaderboard. It ranks number one on Program Bench and Sway Marathon, comes within zero point 0.5 of GPT 5.6 Sol on Terminal Bench, and finishes just behind Fable 5 on Frontier Sway and Kimi's internal benchmark. Overall, you can clearly see across all of these different domains, whether that is agentic tasks or even visual benchmarks, the Kimi K3 is definitely putting up state of the art results across many of these different benchmarks, which is just insane. Something else to also note is that when it comes to browser use, another area where Kimi K3 actually stands out because it achieves over a 91% on browser comp while costing around $2 per task, which is delivering performance comparable to flagship models like the GPT 5.6 Sol as well as Claude Mythos 5 at a fraction of the price. That combination of capability and cost efficiency is what makes it one of the best value browser agents currently available right now. And like I previously mentioned, you're essentially getting Fable and GPT 5.6 level intelligence, not exactly the same intelligence, but similar capabilities at Sonnet level prices because you have the K3 priced at $3 per 1 million input tokens and $15 per 1 million output tokens. It also contains a 1 million token context window, and with cash hit, it is approximately 30 cents per 1 million tokens. Now, if you're looking to get started with this model, you can easily use it with the Kimi chatbot, which is a way for you to easily access it for free. And you can easily use it with K3 Swarm, which is where you deploy multiple agents to get the job done. And if you do not want to use the thinking mode, you can easily just switch it over to the 2.6 fast, which is also another way for you to get faster results. Obviously, you're not using the K3 in this example, but another option is using it through their API where you can easily access it through different harnesses like Kimi Code, and that is a great way for you to get the most out of the Kimi model. Now, I'm going to be mixing this up with Kimi Code as well as the World of AI benchmark because I personally believe these two harnesses are the best way for you to get the best out of the model. And essentially, we're going to be running this benchmark using the K3 through the World of AI benchmark across multiple different prompts to assess it and to see how proficient it is on our World of AI benchmark. And you already saw that this is a model that is ranked number three on this benchmark, and it just shows how incredible it is in multiple domains. I gotta say, this has to be the best macOS clone I have seen ever from any model because the K3 was able to fully clone out this operating system, and it just shows how proficient this model is in any prompt or task that you give it. The top bar with the macOS OS clone has been properly generated. And one thing you'll notice is the attention of detail with this generation, because you have small components like showing the battery percentage, which hasn't been actually attributed with any clone that I have generated. You even have a Siri, you have obviously the menu bar on the top bar where you can modify a couple of things like the sound, and it also showcases and highlights what it is actually doing on the screen, like the brightness as well as the sound. You also can change it to low power mode, and it changes a lot of these smaller elements that you wouldn't really expect from any model to actually generate. Now, you have a lot of different functionalities which we'll go through. You have the Finder, which has functional apps and different components that actually work, which is really nice to see. You also have a Spotlight search, you can say, which is a little buggy, but still, it did get the job done over here. You also have Safari, which actually has coded out all of the landing pages for each of these different websites. You have a messaging app, you have a mail app, a maps app, which actually has a functional output that actually works, which is something that most models tend to fail at. Only Fable 5 was one of the models that actually proficiently generated a map. You also you also have photos where you can open up these individual photos. You even have a FaceTime app. And what's actually cool is if you click on new FaceTime, it actually showcases what a real FaceTime uh, simulation would actually look like. You also have contacts, calendars, you have reminders, and each of these applications have been thoroughly generated to replicate what the real macOS clone or what the real Mac OS actually looks like. The music app is actually pretty cool because this is a functional music player that it actually generated with lots of cool components and attributes added. You also have podcasts, you have a TV app. I don't think it plays it properly, but that's just really cool that it added all of these smaller components. You also have a chess app. The settings is where you can do a lot of things. You can change the appearance. You also have the ability to change the accent color as well as the highlight color. So these are cool little things that you're able to do, which is something that you really haven't seen with any OS clone that we have actually generated from other models. Something cool like this, like a FaceTime incoming. Here, the K3 also built a browser based cyberpunk swinging game that kind of mimics Spider-Man, showing just how capable the model is at serious coding tasks. This is where it handled a real time 3D city, not just a basic city. You have lighting, you have different atmospheres, different functions, even have rope physics, collision logic, camera control. All of these things have been added properly, all running smoothly in the browser. This goes far beyond just generating a nice looking front end or a 3D environment. K3 definitely is able to work with complex architecture. It is also able to work with interactive systems, connecting multi game mechanics, as well as these different debug physics, heavy code. And at the end, it's able to optimize the final experience into something that is genuinely playable, which is just remarkable to see that from a single prompt, they're able to output this sort of quality from this open model. Here's a demo that really showcases why Kimi K3 is way above Claude Opus 4.8. It was given the same prompt as in both models were to request to build a detailed armory bay with lighting, props, and an atmosphere. The top is the Kimi K3, and you can see that the bottom output is from the Opus 4.8. And it's clear that it's not even close, because the K3 created a complete 3D scene with textured walls, weapon racks, ammo crates, proper lightings. You have the alarm lighting as well. You have an environmental detail and a far more convincing composition. Whereas the Opus 4.8 did produce an empty room. It's not horrible, but it's pretty basic with few objects and nothing that really describes the true environment of the prompt that we're looking for it to actually generate. For 3D environments and game generation, I can clearly tell you that the Kimi K3 is clearly ahead of Opus 4.8 as well as GPT 5.6 Sol. And in my opinion, this is Fable 5 level capability from an open weight model. Now, combining the K3 with the Kimi Code harness, I am able to create a full-on FPS shooter game with Three.js graphics. And I gotta say, this is just insane. Just take a look at this output, guys. This environment is truly remarkable. You have a gameplay system, weapons, enemy AI, you have physics, you have different sorts of design, as well as different performance optimizations. You have different controls, different weapons. So you can see that there's even a sniper rifle that has been added. You also have different sound effects, different hues. One thing I really like is the small little rain puddles that have been added. And you also have different environments that were added to this composition. So overall, it's just remarkable that this model is capable of outputting this sort of quality. And that is something that I really didn't expect. Even have a shotgun, guys. This is just remarkable because it doesn't even spend as many tokens as what the other models are generating with these sort of prompts. So it's really crazy to see that these models are generating these sorts of outputs. Now, in the world of AI benchmark, we essentially ran it across multiple front-end tasks. And this is where we had requested it to create an NVIDIA graphics card page. And this is where we gave it full freedom as to what it should do. It should contain a digital 3D visualization of graphics card, and it did a great job in doing that. This is the first time I've seen a model actually output a 3D version of the graphics card that definitely looks like a real GPU. And not just some random generation or a 3D model of a graphics card. This one actually has a lot of depth to it, and that is something that I really like with this specific generation. I gotta say, this specific generation is just truly remarkable. From using various sorts of packages, different typographies, different formats, the scroll trigger itself is just perfect with this specific generation. I just love how it was able to attribute all of these specific components into one cohesive front end generation. Here is another prompt that showcases that Kimi K3 is far more superior than Fable 5 at design taste. It's doing a better job with its design output in comparison to Fable 5 at a cheaper rate while having less errors and better functionality and better outputs with its generations. You can see that with this output over here where it adds in multiple components, multiple packages, you even have scroll dynamics, scroll triggers from the Kimi K3, but it ends up being a lot better than Fable 5 in this specific prompt. Another insane front end that this model was able to output, it had generated a complete interactive 3D product experience. The chili that rotates, it splits apart as you scroll. It reveals the seeds inside, which is something that I haven't seen any model actually end up generating with this level of detail, all smoothly rendered and using Three.js. So you can clearly see that when it comes to front end, it does an exceptional job in obviously creating a really good front end with a nice design taste, but also implementing different packages as well as generating code with Three.js proficiently. This is just remarkable because the Kimi K3 generated a Red Dead 2 style open world game. A few months ago, this would have sounded impossible for any model to actually generate. But you can see that this open weight model is something that is generating explorable worlds with terrain, gameplay systems, you have NPCs, and an impressive visual fidelity with a single prompt generation, which is just outstanding. This is really cool because the Kimi model was requested to create a virtual MacBook in an isometric room, which was all fully coded out in Three.js. And you can see that there's a full on macOS like experience that was coded out in Three.js. Where you have the bottom bar and you have different components that has all the attributes for the interactive laptop running inside a browser from a 3D hardware model to the desktop UI, as well as a windowing system all generated from a prompt. The coding capability that you get from this model is just genuinely insane. Not only is this Kimi K3 model getting the job done better, but it's doing it at a substantial lower discount. The same design prompt across all three, judged on pacing, design sense, and gameplay feel, has been visualized in this dashboard, where it compares the Fable 5, Kimi K3, and GPT 5.6 Sol. This is where the Kimi K3 had the strongest visual direction. You can see that it added in the right gameplay details. It maintained solid pacing. And with Fable 5 and Soul, both of them played noticeably too fast. The footage is not sped up. And you can see that the gameplay metrics with the Soul is just a little too aggressive in comparison to what we see with the Kimi model. Not saying it's bad, but it is a little far fetched in terms of a proper gameplay mechanic. But essentially, the Kimi K3 had gotten this task done in just 3 cents, whereas Fable 5 spent around 38 cents. But GPT 5.6 Sol was decent with its output and spent around 11 cents. But I, in my opinion, think that the K3 delivered the best results while costing a fraction of the cost in comparison to the competitors. If you like this video and would love to support the channel, you can consider donating to my channel through the super thanks option below. Or you can consider joining our private Discord where you can access multiple subscriptions to different AI tools for free on a monthly basis, plus daily AI news and exclusive content, plus a lot more. Now, it also seems like we got a new SVG king because the Kimi K3 definitely has the best SVG output. This is where it did a remarkable job across all four of these different prompts from Lee Sen's prompt. And this is where it was requested to create an SVG painting or landscape of a desert. You have a city skyline, a house, as well as a mountain range. And you can clearly see that the composition of four of those results are much better than what we see over here from Fable 5. Fable 5 definitely did a great job. I'm not saying it's horrible, but the quality of output is not matching the same quality as Kimi K3. There are certain things that could be better, like the windows within this house, but overall, this generation looks a lot better than what we see over here. Gives you more visual depth than what we see from the Fable 5 generation. Let's take a look at this butterfly that I had requested it to generate in SVG, and I gotta say, it looks a lot better than what I have seen with other models. It actually looks quite realistic. The symmetry as well as the gradient of the butterfly wing is really nice to see. And this is just something that I really like from this model in terms of its SVG capability as well as the pricing I get for the quality. Now, one thing I could say that could be better is the connection, like with the body, as well as adding in more visual patterns to the wings. But other than that, it is definitely nice to see that it was able to output a pretty decent looking butterfly. Now, I gotta say, the Kimi K3 is one of the biggest surprises of the year. This is something that truly made me go crazy as I was running all of these different tests because it consistently delivered top tier coding quality. Not just that, it's exceptional at almost every front, whether that is browser comp, using its multimodal capabilities. It's just exceptional in all these different domains. Design sense, impressive 3D and game generation capabilities, while remaining open weight, which is just remarkable. This is something that is also inexpensive, so you can easily use this as an option as your daily scaffold, from interactive web experiences to complex simulations and complete browser games. This is a model that is demonstrating that open models are rapidly closing the gap with, and in some cases, matching or surpassing the best closed source systems. And if this trajectory continues, you'll notice that the Kimi K3 will be remembered as a major milestone for the open source AI community. So, huge props and respects to the Moonshot AI team. This is a remarkable model, and I'm definitely going to be using it as one of my daily AI driver models. But with that thought, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and got some sort of value. I'll leave all the links that I use in today's video in the description below. Make sure you go ahead and take a look at the second channel. Also, take a look at the World of AI benchmark and vibe coding platform so that you can easily benchmark any model you would like, as well as get a better idea of which model you should use. Join our newsletter, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos so that you can stay up to date with the latest AI news. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.